So it is, oh my gosh, about 7:30 in the morning, and I gotta get ready to go to work. But today is the day where I meet my birth family for the first time. Okay. This is so weird for me for a couple of reasons. First one, very trivial. First one is because I'm wearing a lot of makeup right now, and that's not for this video. It's because I have a wedding to go to later. But I'm like looking and I see the camera reflection and I'm like, wow, hello. That's a lot. The second reason is probably because you clicked on this. I never thought I'd be making this video. This is also crazy for me because it's just happening so fast. And I didn't plan this, really. Like a week ago, this was not on my calendar. And now it is. There wasn't a time that I remember that like my parents sat me down and were like, okay, Danielle, you're adopted. I just remember always knowing, like I'm pretty sure it was just always brought up to me as, hey, you didn't come from mommy's tummy, but mommy and daddy loved you so much that we wanted to have you, and your real mommy wasn't able to care for you, and so she gave you to us so that we could. Like, it was never like, oh, you're adopted, and I was like, what? It was just like, I just remember always knowing. And I know that's not the case for everybody, but growing up I was always curious about the adoption. I always wanted to know more, and always I don't know, like yeah, I was very curious of where I came from, who my mom was, who my dad was, and just like what it was like beforehand. I was also I was such a mean kid when I was little, because I remember sometimes I'd get mad at my parents and be like, I'm gonna go live with my real mom, and oh my gosh, kids never do that. That's like the worst. Like, I think about that now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I must have hurt their feelings so bad. Oof. But yeah, I was always curious. And as I grew up, as I got older, I wanted to know more and more, and I was like more curious because I was getting to the point of my 18th birthday where I could open the adoption and like find out the information and all of that. Yeah, so when I was 18, that's what I did. I got in contact with the adoption agency that I was adopted through, and the social worker that I had gave me the information. Unfortunately, at that time, so what must have happened is my birth mom moved away, and she never updated the agency with info of where she was, and so they couldn't get in contact with her. And if they couldn't get in contact with her, they couldn't give me information, like her last name or information like that. So like when I got there, I was told like, we actually can't like put you in contact or give you a lot of the information that you want, because we haven't been able to get in contact with her to ask her for that. And like when I heard that, when I walked into the adoption agency, I was definitely like flustered. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I've waited 18 years and I can't get any information about my adoption, my birth parents. But they were able to give me some. And yeah. So basically, they gave me like some of the medical records and stuff like that. Information about a half-sister that I have. And like I got like first names of things of like my family, like my birth mother's first name, my birth grandparents' first name, all of those things. Unfortunately, I don't know who my dad is. I don't think I'll ever know. It was just a messy situation between my birth mother and him. Also because my birth mother was in a state where she could know who he was. Like, she was intoxicated at the time. But also there was a possibility of a person who was my birth father. And then when there came testing to like see if he was, he never showed up and basically dropped off the face of the planet. So I don't know who he is. And that's okay. I'm still curious, but I guess that's just how it is sometimes. Yeah. The crazy thing about that situation was the social worker wanted to show me a picture of my birth mom from a license that she gave, and so she covered up the name, but she accidentally didn't cover up the signature. So I found out what the last name of my birth mother was, and that's how I basically was able to find out who she was. And honestly, I think I should become like a personal private investigator, because I found who she was and her family through the last name, through names, through locations, but mainly through like Yellow Book, like phone books and Facebook and things like that. And so a few days later, after my 18th birthday, I sent a Facebook message to my birth mom, to her brother, and to my grandparents, saying like, hey, I don't know if this means anything to you, but this is my name. I was born this time. And it's possible that I could be related to you, basically. And that's how I first was put in touch with my birth mom. It's been 4 years since that's happened. And getting in touch with my birth family gave me so much closure, because I was able to know who they are. So like I've actually only spoken to my birth mom and to her brother, never to my grandparents. But like getting to know them through Facebook Messenger has been has given me a lot of closure. But it's also brought up a lot of things in my heart, in my life, and in those relationships that are really tough. It's always been like a rough relationship with my birth mom over I feel like we've only messaged each other through Facebook, so like it's a difficult relationship and circumstance in itself, but I know I definitely have a closed heart, and I was definitely not the nicest person when certain exchanges happened. But anyways, about a month ago, I was contacted by her. She said, hey, I'm visiting New Hampshire to visit my parents. I'll be here through this date, and I would love to meet you. And long story short, there was a couple exchanges that were not great between that. And like, I don't want to put her on blast, because I know like I'm 50% of the problem in how I approach her. But I basically let it go. And I forgot about it until I realized, oh crap, my birth mom's in New Hampshire. And so a couple nights ago I said, Mom, I forgot to tell you that my birth mom's here in New Hampshire and she's visiting her grandparents. And Mom was like, oh my gosh, Danielle, you should get together with her. You should meet her. Is that something you want to do? And I've always been like, no, like I don't think that's not something I need for me to have like complete closure, because I feel like I've had that. I have been curious to visit or get to know my birth grandparents, excuse me, but never, yeah, if that makes sense. Never wanted to necessarily pursue a meeting with her, but the crazy thing was I had a prayer meeting that night. I don't know if all of you are Christian or anything like that, but somebody said to me like, hey, like I have this feeling that you have a rough relationship with your mom basically, and they went into detail a little bit, and I was like, yup, because 2 hours before that I was having this conversation with my mom saying my birth mom's here and I don't really want to meet her, and they said, well, I think this might be a circumstance that you should go meet her. I think God wants you to go meet your birth mom. So that was just a crazy situation, and that was definitely a moment where I was like, oh shoot, okay, maybe this is something I need to do. So that was a few days ago, literally just like 2-3 days. What's today? Today's Saturday. That was Thursday, 2 days ago, that I was like, okay. I reached out to my birth mother and I said, I'm willing to meet you and your parents, and so now in 2 days I'm gonna be meeting with them, and it's definitely I don't even know what the right word is. Like, there's so many thoughts and emotions that go with it, and I'm sure anyone who relates to that story, like to being adopted and possibly meeting parents you've never met. You don't necessarily have to be adopted. There's a lot of thoughts and feelings that go with it, and so I'm trying to like ready my heart and ready my mind for those conversations, and for the meeting. It's just kind of crazy. Like, it's crazy to me that I'm making this video, and it's crazy to me that in 2 days I'm gonna meet my birth family, or part of my birth family, and it's just happening like really quick, and we'll see, you know. It's just like, okay, we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely scared. I'm definitely nervous. That's hard. I don't know if I'm scared. I'm like curious, anxious, definitely standoffish. I definitely know there's a lot of like feelings and thoughts that's like, I don't really want to do this, or I don't need this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna take the jump, take the leap, and go for it. And I know this is like a totally different video than what's normally going on my channel, and I know I haven't posted in a while because of circumstances that I'll explain in another video, but thanks for watching, thanks for clicking. It would mean a lot to me. It would do me a huge favor if you like and subscribed, and shared this video, and not just liking and sharing it for like me, but like for other people who might be adopted, or might have rough relationships with their parents, or might be meeting people for the first time. Do it for those people. And thanks for all the support and love, and to all my friends and family. Yeah, thank you for giving me the life that I've had. Through it all, it's been beautiful, and I'm very lucky to be in this spot. So thank you to those people. Alrighty. So it is, oh my gosh, about 7:30 in the morning, and I gotta get ready to go to work, but today is the day where I meet my birth family for the first time, which is a crazy thought. And I don't think I've processed it yet, but we're gonna see how it goes. Yeah, I don't know, so it's just so weird. Definitely weird. Haven't processed it. Excited, nervous. I don't really even know what to think, so we'll see. Throughout the day at work, today I was just like thinking about like, oh my gosh, in like 4 hours I'm going to be meeting these people. And normally if you ask any of my friends, like they'll tell you I'm a very anxious person. But today, like, I haven't been feeling that anxious, which is really weird for me. So I boxed that up to either I just have tremendous peace about this, or I'm feeling super indifferent to it, and I'm not really sure which one it is still. But I think my feelings will surface more as we pull into the parking lot of where we're meeting. I think for every, my face looks super pale now. Woo! I think for every adopted person, we all have very different feelings about our adoption, or about the situation, or like all of these things. Like, it's not one adoption is the same, and not one circumstance is the same. So like, I can't imagine what other people have gone through, and so if you're watching this, like, preparing yourself for it if you're gonna do the same thing. The answer is you probably will feel very different than me, because I kind of have had closure with my birth family circumstances, but I will say I am excited to meet my grandparents. Definitely looking forward to that. I think another good perspective to have is also like what your parents might be thinking. Both your adoptive parents or your birth parents. I'm thinking a lot about like what my family, my adoptive family is thinking. Like, I wonder if they're nervous. I wonder what thoughts are going through their head, because the last time they saw this person was when they were adopting me. So I think everybody has some sort of feelings about this situation. And then there's the question, okay, what's my birth mom feeling? What is my birth grandparents feeling? Are they nervous? Are they anxious? Are they excited? Are they... All these questions pop through your mind. And so you just have to prepare yourself for all of the above. You want to know what that means? Less than an hour. All right, 3:59, and we're about to leave. Let's do it. I have such good friends. They say they're praying for me. Okay, so, oh my gosh, you can't even see me. Anyway, I am just about to walk into the place where I'm meeting my birth mother for the first time. I'm not gonna video anything because I don't want it to be awkward for them or anything, but I will audio record a few things and possibly get a picture. We'll see. But wish me luck. All right, Regina, thoughts?
That was amazing.
That was good.
What a very special evening that was. What a gift. That was a gift. Thank you.
It was really good. That's so strange that that happened, but yeah. It happened. Dad, thoughts?
It's a blessing to be able to close an open door that you haven't had the ability to close. So now you've been able to meet. I think you've had some good feelings about it, and I think it will allow some more contact in the future and maybe some piece of a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely good. And I'll vlog more about it later. Okay, bye. Okay, so I am home. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's crooked and it would bother me. I hope that's less crooked. Maybe. So I'm home and I'm at my birth family, and it was a wild experience. And I think I'm still kind of like in shock from it. Like, it hasn't processed to me. All in all, it was good. It was really good. It was definitely strange sitting at this table and like looking at these people who I'm genetically, like blood DNA related to. I kind of just wanted to sit and stare for a while, but you know, that's probably not the most perfect, but that's probably not the best thing to do. So I will admit, it was definitely better than I was anticipating. And they were different than I imagined in good ways. I think I had a very negative mindset, I was projecting negative views on them. I don't really know. So I think that's all the feedback I'm gonna give tonight, and once I have all my thoughts processed together, we'll go through that.